Hey everybody, clearing. I'm still in my Christmas onesie. 2 days. Okay, you're welcome. On the pre-shuffle, what I was getting today is, what are the realizations the divine masculines and the divine feminines are about to have in their lives, on the journey? I'm going to see how they play out in the lives of each counterpart, and then what energetic influence this is having on the human collective. So for the divine masculines, what are the divine masculines set to understand at this time? Get earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. So they've been getting too caught up in the rat race, too caught up in the ways of the world, I'm hearing. Spend time in nature. Let's have a look. Divine masculines, you've been too focused on the manufactured bits of reality, the collective agreements that run our mainstream. You're being asked to remember the original templates, the natural templates, the pulse of the earth that is there whether humans are there or not. You're being asked to come back into the garden, come back out of the rules and regulations of the mainframe, the constructs of society, and back into a more organic way of looking at connection, choices, path, the stuff that is both primitive and future, the things that you are naturally a part of because you are made of stardust and earth. Okay, how is this playing out in the masculines' lives at this time emotionally? Eight of Pentacles in the inverse, doing the inner work. So there is a deep remembrance going on with divine masculines right now, that our modern times are contrived. They are agreements that are not necessarily fundamental. Inner progress. Yes, okay, doing the inner work, having the mindset shift based on this deep reconciliation within, between their heartache. I've been getting this card for a good solid month, 2 months now for the divine masculines. These swords of heartache, these stabbing swords, are the misconceptions of the mainstream, the collective agreements that do not honor true connection, love, our sovereign preferences as individuals. The inner critic that says that our heart's desires are not worthy, that they are somehow misguided or wrong. That sword of pain is when we let our own hearts down because we're not following our heart's truth. And then these, I want to say, evil lies that we tell ourselves that our counterpart might be thinking about us out of insecurity or lack of worthiness, or because we're not keeping up with what society says is success, we think we're not worthy by our counterpart. So divine masculines, rein it back in, get a grip, do it, see what really matters, listen to your heart. Your heart knows the way, divine masculines. This inner work you're doing, shifting your mindset to align with your heart, that's head-heart alignment. Keep going with that. It's going to give way to solving all these problems. Spoiler alert, you're allowed to do what you want based on your heart, to trust yourself, to have the faith that your heart isn't leading you astray. Getting into nature is going to be a beautiful way of remembering that God self, remembering that heartfelt truth. How is this going to be playing out in the masculine's physical realms going forward? What is this going to be doing to the DM's material connection life? The moon. So it might look like divine masculines, you're withdrawing from your material realm. Whether that's showing up but being in this deep contemplation. This is even deeper, more fundamental than the hermit mode. This is primary, this is subconscious, this is really looking at the secrets that your soul wants to bring forward. So some may withdraw from friends, family. This is going into the inner sanctum, I just heard, of your soul to find your truth. Yeah, so divine masculines, let's see what we can for encouragement, for support. Wow, already, what is it? Altarian Stargate, neutrality, diplomacy, negotiation, and philosophy. So divine masculines, do not bully yourself for wanting to take this space right now. You are really going into your inner truth that aligns with the baseline of nature, that does not abide by the rules of the false constructs of the world. This is where you're going to be in the world but not of it, where you are going to find the solution to the problem of people pleasing and insecurity about what others might want you to do or think. Okay, what are the feminines about ready to see on a new level? Oh, two things, okay. Always surprised when they fly like that. Star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission and activation, and breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Okay, both of these are very galactic star looking cards. This is something is coming up for you, divine feminines, because you are letting go of control, you're letting go of micromanaging the universe. You're going to see more clearly what is there. Your eyes are being opened to what is rather than what you want to see or what you think is there. You're going to have an activation. There's a transmission coming to you when you least suspect it, I'm hearing. There's going to be breakthrough thoughts. So many have started to actually let go. Many have started to actually have faith and trust on this journey, and that has increased your light body. That has increased your connection to the healing grid of the planet, the crystalline grid, the original templates. This is a ethereal layer that we are all building through consciousness, where all of those who are consciously wishing heaven on earth, wishing for peace on earth, wishing for alignment, we are contributing to a new reality that is crystallizing within the mainframe. We are recovering our energy from the things that are not life affirming in plain sight. We are beginning to resonate stronger. It's like the fade in from a movie scene, fading out the 3D, phasing in the energetic truths, the higher revelation, and agreeing on that new level. So we are innovating and intuitively choosing something slightly different than we used to agree on. New languaging, new perspective. And we're going to be getting more, it's like as we shift from the 3D to the 5D, our radio transmitters are tuning into more of the 5D radio stations. So the activation that we're getting, the transmissions we're picking up on, are different in that nation, the imagination nation, than they were in the mundane. We've got a whole new set of radio stations we can tune into as our perspective changes. We're no longer micromanaging the universe, we're aligning. It is much more of a effortlessness. It's much more of an affinity with life and progress, with life affirming aliveness. And so the things that we're picking up on were outside of our scope when we were more in a density that had to do with fear. So how is this playing out in the Divine Feminines? Knight of Pentacles and Prince of Wands. So these are similar cards. So they're Knight of Pentacles is the foundation. So yes, there is a foundation, a confirmation here emotionally, Divine Feminines, that you're setting a new foundation. And Prince of Wands, no longer are you blindsided by the temptations, the lust, the lower vibrational energy hooks. You're no longer satisfied, easily amused with the things that are flashy or elusive or look good but don't have the right frequency to them. You're no longer blindsided by appearances and by surface level masks. You are discerning, Divine Feminine, so your emotions can't let you down like they used to, with the shock and awe, going this way and that way to things, shiny bits of treasure that you thought might reveal some greater truth. You're not allured by those things anymore. It's not about the book's cover anymore. What can we see in the physical realm for the feminines? The Tower. This is, you're going to notice. So there is some anxiety masked here. The end of anxiety. The Tower comes in to really take you out of this confusion, sleepless nights, anxiety, because it's this easy. Discerning of the appropriate energies. You know, we think that it's easier than it is, but when we want to believe empty words, when we want to believe that what people say is what they mean, or we put a lot of our own interpretation or wishful thinking on those things, it can lead us very far off track because we want it to mean one thing that it likely doesn't. We fill in the blank with what we hope for, and that's not the same as aligning with the things that actually are true, that we are actually asking the right questions, seeing the proofs in action. We're aligning to things that are stable and sure because they are built on the right foundation. We're no longer hoping that something that looks good can one day become what we hope it is. We are now only engaging in the things that are solid. And we've learned to tell the difference, Divine Feminines. So this is the end of anxiety. We only have ourselves to point to if we let ourselves down by engaging in certain things that are not fruitful. And that is the major aha moment. It's not the other person. It is our own choice that makes or breaks what we go forward. So we're learning to trust ourselves to the degree that we choose wisely based on a solid foundation, and that we don't get ahead of ourselves emotionally. What can we see for support for the Divine Feminines that are realizing how powerfully they have the choice to engage in certain things or not? Perspective, ideals, and beliefs. Exactly. We're not taking whatever we can anymore. We're really waiting for the things that are of substance and of alignment and bliss, aspiration, and realization. Yes, there is so much bounty, plentiful energy in the universe. There's so much abundance. We don't have to settle for scraps anymore, Divine Feminines. So this is beautiful. Keep going with that. If not this divine counterpart at this time or ever, then open to seeing what it is that is solid and beautiful and love-based in other offerings, in other locations, in other people, in other opportunities. Let go of anything that is not life-affirming at this time, And don't cling to needing to know if it will always be so or not. Let go always of things that are not able to meet you in aliveness right now, but don't judge them as though they will never be there, because you are wise. You have sensed something greater. If you're watching this video, you are somebody that feels on a whole other level. And so honor that in yourself, but don't harm yourself by wishing for it to be substantially different than it is. There is so much abundance in the world. Okay, let's get into a daily Divine Masculine reading. I'm going to get cards for where the DMs are at regarding the connection on this day after Christmas. What is coming up for the energy based on where they're at right now. So it's a slightly different. I'm going to look at how the DMs are consciously looking at these connections and the feminine, feeling on the heart space, and directly for the feminine, the wishes, the actions, the challenges, the solutions, and the direction. But we're going to see it through where they're conscious, where the energy is moving, and what the mirrored energy is in the feminine. So this may have instruction, it may have just a recognition of what's going on in both polarities. But here we go. So conscious mind for the connection itself, that it's a missed opportunity, that they know that they could come back around. They don't have to worry that all is lost. They are believing in second chances. They do see that something extraordinary has been at play with your connection. They know that it has been lost. The innocence was lost. The chance to be unbroken in this connection is far gone, long gone. But they do know that things can be better than ever. I'm seeing the Christmas star, like a wishing star, the North Star. They know that it's a journey, a work in progress. They know they could never have become who they are now had they not gone through every little thing that they have, that you have on this journey, and they're becoming increasingly grateful for that. And I just heard it just work. This might be the knowledge I need to trust that this person won't abandon me, is what I just heard. So in some way, they maybe not conscious that they've tested this relationship, this connection, but they do on the deeper level know that it is an eternal bond. So whether that's soulmate, twin flame, karmic partner, it's all lessons, it's all learning. We have a little bit of all of those things in whoever we are watching this for. They know that there's more to the story. So what is the energy moving towards? More enlightenment, because they are now saying, wait a second, it's not so all or nothing. It's not so dead and gone or airy-fairy bliss in heaven. They're saying, look, there's even twins here. It's starting to dawn on them. The sun here is starting to come out more and more as they say, I don't have to leave it in the past. They start to see enlightened ways that they could bring it into the present. So this is a card about, letting go of things in the past, but in the reverse, it is a second chance. So they are starting to see how that is actually incredibly beneficial in this connection, rather than feeling like a failure. What is the mirrored energy in the feminine? Working on abandonment wounds, not taking it personally. Knowing it was not a rejection of you, it was a rejection of the pattern between the two. It was a collective understanding. So we are working on collective paradigms in this twin flame journey. If you found yourself here on this level of understanding, it is because you are no longer working on the mundane personal level of existence in relationship. You are really somebody who understands how the collective trauma has been playing out in the human collective and your part in it. You have started to see societal influences and patterns, cultural influences and patterns. You've started to see so many factors that are faults, that don't need to ascribe to each of us what choices we are to make in love, that they are extra, that they are unneeded. When we simplify to our heart's knowing, we don't need to subscribe to these things that society says are rules and regulations about who should be with who, or what factors should determine whether a relationship should come together or not. So Divine Feminines, you are very much laying this on the cross. You are allowing this to be taken away once and for all. This is speaking, there is a First Nations Christ-like image here, and the rainbow warriors. This is the ascended community that's rising up, and this has so much spiritual imagery in it. It can be the four corners as well, but this is really letting go of all of that limitation, laying it on the cross once and for all, having the truth that sets you free from these abandonment triggers, from taking these things personally and seeing it as cultural. We are reclaiming our right to love whomever we want, and that is helping this second chance come in. But it's also a freeing motion because of this potential the masculines are sensing for a second chance. You're feeling it as safety in the energetic realms, safety to love, safety to believe in this love with your masculine. It works hand in hand this way. It does take two. So with the twins here in the Sun card, between these masculine and feminine cards, I'm really seeing that it does take two. It's a revelation on both sides of the energy. And that's the next level of these connections, is that we're coming into more of the full awareness of how the masculine and feminine have been busting through the obstacles in the 5D. We're going to be seeing more and more proof of the energetic work that we've been collaborating on as these connections continue to come into more of a 3D recognition. We're going to see how it's been working together below the surface all along, and how each of the stages of the journey have contributed to that process of becoming. With more and more gratitude, with more and more spiritual sight, we're going to see how these journeys have perfectly allowed for this process of healing the societal templates. It's a good thing. What are the masculines thinking about their feminine? They think you are the high priestess. They think that you are the most merciful, humble, compassionate being they've ever met. They really do. The way you've handled yourself, the way that you have navigated the things that would cause others to become crazy people. You've stayed the course, you've stayed balanced. They've seen you be non-reactive time and time again. They are in awe of your mastery. It has piqued their curiosity at times. They have tried almost everything with subconscious testing this connection. Time and time again, compassion wins the day. And they know they are safe with you. That is why it's a perfect mirror for all of their shenanigans. There's nothing that they can throw at this connection out of their wounding that you can't hold your own with and reflect back to them that they don't need to be such freaks. They don't need to be so fearful. They could get to the good part of this. They could just revel in your connection. They could just trust. They could just love. They see you holding this energetic protection shield that acts as a perfect mirror to them. Where is this going? It is healing them profoundly. The Temperance, they are coming into this otherworldly level mastery and balance within their own emotions because of your support, because of your mastery, because of your reflection. Wow. What do the feminines need to know? King of Cups, your divine counterpart loves you. This is the unspoken love. This is what is absolutely coming up for you to know, that you're doing this because of the unspoken love. These are the actions and deeds that absolutely help the becoming. So beautiful. What are the masculines feeling on the heart space for these connections? The profound energetic transference between the two. Absolutely beautiful. This is even audible telepathy I'm hearing. So they are feeling like in their Holy of Holies, in their heart of hearts, in that inner core, they hear you, they feel you, they know you. This connection can never be left at home accidentally. I just heard. This is sinking in. Right now, for some reason, this is impressed upon the divine masculines that there is no mountain, no valley, no obstacle that negates that they do sense you in the core. And it's going to be sinking in more and more. There is no other. This is the Four of Swords, is when we clear out the Three of Swords, which is the third energy, the heartache, anything that comes between love or would threaten to be other than love, that is a non-issue. They are seeing this more and more about the connection, that it is without fail. And the Fool for feminine. So Fool in the reverse, there is just a little bit more of a preparation, a leap of faith, a belief that you deserve love is what I'm hearing. Whether it's this masculine you're looking at the reading for, or love in general coming into your life, these energetic proofs are still establishing so that you can trust that you won't have a 3D relationship anymore where you have to wonder what someone's intentions are or whether or not they feel the same. You are also coming into the revelation that you are worthy of an energetic soul level love, and that really does exist. So part of the slow motion of these connections is bringing you out of fearing that you will never fully be certain with a partner whether they're choosing you or not, or whether you'll be able to tell if they are. So much of the crazy making is when we are sensing incompatibility in karmic situations, and yet the surface seems to be aligned, or it's good on paper, or people are saying they want monogamy or a commitment, but then their energy is scattered or pulled elsewhere. Divine feminines, we're so close to knowing when it's in alignment and when it's not, energetically speaking, intuitively, not just what people say. So we are going through this massive awakening. Allow the time it needs to take root so that you only engage with things that are energetically resonant with knowing. Don't get ahead of it. Don't give your heart over to something before that energetic proof has been revealed to you that it's authentic. When actions, deeds, energy all align, that's when it is safe to affirm that the connection is there. What are the masculines feeling on their heart space for their feminine? Free will. So they are going into the guts, the worms here, also the underground, the gnarly part. They're really searching their free will assessment of all of it right now. They're searching their own hearts. They're searching your heart. They're searching the history. They're searching the energetic proof now to see if their assumptions, their defense mechanisms, their games are justified. What is this going to be doing? They're going to see through the confusion that unconditional love is here, and that there is no game, there is no trick. They are searching every angle right now. This I got last year in Capricorn season, that the masculines were going to go through a 40 days with the devil. I'm getting this as an annual transit that the masculines, or the masculine within the feminine, goes through as well, where there is a balancing out and taking stock of all the different ways of looking at reality. It's a deep inner checklist, and the divine masculines are going to be affirming the love here. But right now there is a teeter-totter. They are win some, lose some. Right now, some of the things they're thinking are still very misguided. Some of them are interpreting incorrectly. For the feminine, don't force anything. Leave your divine counterpart to their own energy right now to come to their own truths. It is way too karmic and a trespass of someone else if you feel you have to preach or convince or teach or tell your partner, your energetic partner here, which way is up. Refrain from doing that. It is not going to do anyone any favors if you go blue in the face trying to convince them of how they should see reality. That is karmic. Let go. If someone's not on the same page, let go, align with others. I know many don't want to hear that, but you don't have to waste your precious life force trying to preach at someone else. You can just go the other way and focus on your own karma cleanup, your own healing, your own purpose in life. Try those 3 things if you feel like the energy is stalled, but don't directly try and manipulate or force this connection, even energetically, emotionally, with your mindset. If it's not coming together easily and effortlessly, point to your own karma cleanup, your own healing, or your own service and purpose into the world. Move the energy that way. Don't move it on behalf of someone. What can we see for the wishes for the masculines in their own lives? The devil in the reverse and changes. So they're seeing through the 3D illusions. They're seeing through the choices they've made in the past. They're seeing cause and effect. They're seeing their way up out of the pit of limitation. That's what they wish in their own life, to be clearer on what is possible. Divine feminines, this is going to bring them back into alignment with you. Look at the twinsies riding on the alicorn in the cosmos. This is reunion. This is where it is quite clear how in alignment the two of you are, and where the masculines don't need to buy into those BS stories of limitation regarding the obstacles that they once thought were here in this connection. I'm not going to list all of the deal breaker obstacles that each couple faces, but each couple does work on certain karmas to come into union that get erased. Those obstacles are erased in the name of love, unconditional love, and the divine masculines are making some strides to come up and out of limited thinking in general. This is going to naturally bring them into reunion with the feminine. What can we see for what they are wishing for this connection? They're wishing to find their purpose for like 3 months now. This is the initiation of soul purpose, mission, true fulfillment in life. And they are on the verge of getting these guided transmissions, just like we saw for the feminines in the opening part of the reading. When we drive out of range of the fear paradigms, we start tuning into new radio stations that allow us to bring in these higher purpose-led 3322 life paths, higher timelines. Yeah, they're going to start wishing to access abundance. You know, everybody says they want to access abundance, but a lot of our worthiness issues say, who do they think they are to go for that amount of abundance in their life? And so we have to actually be in quite a healed place in order to believe that we are worthy of that without self-judgment and ridicule. And to know that it does not create lack for others. By going for our abundance, it generates more abundance. It doesn't actually create lack. Greed is another thing, but this is abundance. This is not greed. What is mirrored in the feminines? Strength. So stay the course, overcome those devil energies. The masculines are overcoming the devil energies. So again, don't buy into the who do I think I am to go for these audacious, abundant timelines. Keep walking in the knowing that this is the way to heaven on earth. It is a trap of the lower dimensional awareness or lack of awareness that says we have to toil and struggle and be in a self-diminishing playing small kind of level. So stay walking in humility. Humility brings you up out of that suffering and allows the receptivity for you to just embrace what is for you and to let it make you feel good, feminines, without it needing to be something other. This is the level of receptivity and appreciation in the moment. Gratitude, the attitude of gratitude for what you have allows you to be blessed with more. What can we see for how the masculines are acting in their own lives? Yeah, there's the Four of Swords again. This is the sinking in that the heartache doesn't actually have to be there. It's not doing anyone any favors to wallow in the heartaches of the world. This is the moment where we get the rocket boosters to go up and out into the outer atmosphere of abundance, where we bring this otherworldly abundance to earth, peace on earth, heaven on earth, a better way. And this is grounding the unions, 1111. This is the wake up. It's not in the upright here, so it's still this inner preparation to align with this level of union within so that the unions can be shown without. What can we see for the feminines? The Emperor. So you're also embodying the divine masculine, the Emperor, the logic, the reason, the stability. You're still anchoring this internal structure that allows for the safety of your Empress energy to be shone into the world as light without needing to have your divine counterpart by your side. This is your own internal growth that's allowing you to be capable, to be abundant, to be magnificent in the world in your own right, because you have this inner constitution that's supportive, that gives you permission internally to be you, without being defined by whether you've been chosen in a relationship or whether it's come together yet. What is the masculine action in the world towards the feminine? Autonomy. Coming into the safety, the abundance, the wholeness. So the masculines are finding they don't need to fall back on crutches, addictions, codependent relationships, mothers, fathers, job security, certain living situations. They're grounding into the energetics, into the spiritual knowing and trust, the faith, knowing that everything is available for those who have eyes to see. So they're holding their own, and that is bringing them into alignment with these connections. Yes, this is the foundation that's being laid. This is the 10th pentacle after the 9 that can be offered in connection with the feminine. What is the mirrored energy? King of Swords. So you don't see this coming, divine feminines. Erase the idea that your divine counterpart is never going to show up and just start focusing on yourself. It's when you least suspect it, and it's because when you set a manifestation like this out into the time capsule release with your whole heart, you just get on with your life. You wake up in it one day and say, oh my gosh, we did it. I remember when I wanted this, and then life got so cool, so amazing, I didn't see it coming. All of the path is set before you. Keep going in your own right, divine feminine, and allow your divine masculine to keep building their path. If this is your true counterpart, it will come into sync. If this is not, you will be blessed beyond measure by doing the things appropriate for you. And letting go of worrying if it's good enough for someone else, if it's going to bring you back into connection. Follow your heart one step at a time. Do not be superstitious about your choices, whether it will make or break this relationship or any relationship or your shot at love. Keep doing the things that you know your heart's saying for you to do that are in your highest and best interest every step of the way. You don't need to know. You don't need to be in attachment to outcome. You don't need to have expectations aside from the ones that require your heart to choose wisely in every moment based on what your heart feels you are meant to do for your betterment, for your highest and best interest. That is not selfish. That is setting a strong foundation. So keep doing that without needing to know what it's going to be like from your counterpart. What is the biggest challenge for the masculines at this time? The lack of public victory, the lack of anything to show for it. These victories that are within, that they can't point at fully, they can't express in words what they are exactly. Where is this going? They are freeing themselves. They're freeing themselves from having to be showy, boastful, in the know, have public recognition. This is a humbling for the masculines. How is this mirrored with the feminines? I saw this card yesterday for the masculines. This is the cracking open of the heart that says this sun is coming. Here's that sunshine that's set to come out. This is union. This is, you are entangled with this counterpart, whether it's your twin flame or not. You are in entangled energy with this person, and there is a commitment on the heart here, or you would not be watching this. It does not matter if it's your twin flame or a soulmate or a karmic partner. If you're watching this, it's part of your story, and it's part of what is making you this incredibly stable, love-filled, abundant person. So be grateful. Even if there is nothing outwardly to show for it, this is the way of the deep internal. What is the solution for this? Let the cycles come to a close. Let the world be left behind. Let yourself rise. Divine counterparts, divine masculines, just keep closing out the things you know aren't a fit and saying yes to the things that are increasingly. Exactly, it's leading to this new beginning where it's a full-fledged leap of faith, where there is no baggage from the past, and it's sweet. Look at this rose. The fool is smelling the rose. There's loyalty, purity, and this sweet, sweet promise of a brand new way of being coming up in the future. But we still need to rise up and out of the old burden. For the feminines, 3 of Cups. Okay, 3 of Cups in the reverse. Third-party situations will be released in this new beginning, because energy refines as we progress, as we evolve. Things that are of karmic nature fall away, we learn. And so karmic partners, karmic scenarios, any third energy that's been a obstacle will be left behind. Only love is eternal. As we walk on each of those steps, they fall away because they're no longer needed as we go up to enlightenment more and more. We are eternal, so it's a never-ending process. Eventually, though, the two are left standing, and it becomes more of a collaboration, a next-level collaboration. What is the direction of the connection from the masculine? They are walking away from things that don't emotionally serve. They are still, so once they leave the things that no longer serve, this purpose, this Ace of Wands, that's when that radio station starts coming into more clarity. When we're still looking through the lens of the 3D, these new mission statements don't make sense. They feel like a carrot on a stick. We have to let go of the old ways in order to hear this clearly. So it's still this in-between. Things have not fully been revealed because our due diligence still says there are things we need to release. And the Hierophant. So this is deep internal guidance. The High Priest. These are the transmissions. These are the things that are coming into view, that are beginning to be known to us more and more for the new lives, the new niche, the new outlet. But it's not going to be fully recognized in the upright until the 3D falls away. The things that are not secure going forward in the new energy. So in the past, we used to have 3D constructs as the primary sense of safety with survival mentality. 4411 I just saw. And now we're grounding into the energetics, where if things are based in integrity, authenticity, those are the new they're no longer constructs. Those are the original, but also the new priorities. Those are the things that matter to us. We're not so concerned with the things of the 3D, the false sense of security, the things we can't take on with us when we leave these lives, these bodies. These are not the priorities anymore. Okay, what can we see for the masculines? Support going forward. Cosmic Calibrator, universal attunement, repatterning, and guidance. Exactly. Divine masculines, you're leaving the ways of the world and starting to get that higher wisdom, that higher guidance for your next steps. Keep going. And feminines, what can we see? Temple of Amethystia, tranquility, patience, and disillusion. Let the 3D fall away for your masculine. Be working on the new templates, the new innovations with your whole heart, and do not worry. Your divine counterpart will catch up. Many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.